what's your process for designing a space? I love starting with the bare minimum of the home or the room or whatever it is that I'm designing. I love starting with the architectural finishes because, like I said earlier, that sets the whole foundation for the entire home. What that does once you have it all figured out is help you determine, okay, the walls look very classic, they have molding, or the walls look modern and the molding details are very streamlined, so this home will be a modern home. The windows are black, and once you have the architectural finishes established, it's a lot easier to bring in other things. And what I do is I fall in love with either a fabric or a color palette, and I let that drive my whole design. I love using different fabrics and using the motifs in the fabrics by sprinkling them throughout the design. For example, I mentioned this in another video which I'll have linked. What I do is I take, let's say, herringbone, and I sprinkle herringbone all over the design. It could be on the floors, it could be on the fabrics. Once I have the color palette established, I go ahead and I focus heavily on the cabinetry design and the furniture design because that is really important. Based on the details on those different things, you can really come ahead and design something unique, different, something that speaks to the client and that feels cohesive. For me, the whole goal is for my interiors to feel classic, timeless, cohesive, and luxurious. And luxurious, everybody has their own definition for it, but for me, luxuriousness is extreme comfort and taking advantage of amazing quality pieces that will stand the test of time. That is super important. Do you follow trends? I do not follow trends. I think trends are just that. They're just trends. They may stay a little bit longer, but ultimately they kind of go away and they fade away. What I do instead is I look at a trend and I see, reeded details are really in right now. So I might sprinkle some reeded details throughout my interiors, and that's just slightly how I'll do it. But in general, I don't follow trends because my whole motto is that my interiors have to be classic and timeless. So that when I look at photographs of this home that I designed 10 years ago, it still feels relevant and it still feels like it was designed yesterday. Do you like incorporating vintage items? Yes, I love vintage things. I think vintage pieces give an interior such a homey feeling and such history and bring along such texture. They're worn, they're old, and I think they offer the perfect little touch to every interior. Even if everything in your home is new, adding just one little vintage thing, you can tell the difference. What is the fastest way to change the look of your home? I receive this question really often, mainly from my friends really, and I think the fastest way you can change the look of your home is by either investing in new paint. You can go ahead and cover the walls with wallpaper, but truly the easiest way is to switch out the accessories like the artwork and the throw pillows, which is my favorite way to change the whole look. If you're into changing your decor seasonally, you can go ahead and use different color palettes for the different seasons, and that will automatically change the look of your home, especially if the foundation of your design, which would be the bigger furniture pieces like the sofa, the chairs, if it's a bedroom, your bed, if everything else is neutral, you can easily go ahead and change the accessories and the pillows and everything else just by switching the colors out. That will change the whole look. Now I have some questions all about my favorites, so let's see what they are. Who are your favorite designers? Oh my goodness, love this question. My favorite designers are ones that have a very similar style to mine. So these are Laura Hammett from England, Sophie Patterson, also from England, Lewis Bradley, also from England, Oliver Burns. Honestly, they're all from England, okay? Finn Chatton, as well as Elysion. Oh, how did I forget? Catherine Pooley. I absolutely love her. I love her work. It's so luxurious and classic and opulent. I love it. Her work is just amazing. All of these designers are from England. Now from the United States, I really love Studio McGee. I think they do a great job in just the way they've branded their whole business. It's absolutely gorgeous. Their interiors feel fresh and different, and they're eclectic, which is not particularly my style, but they do it so well. I love it. I think it's amazing, it's beautiful, it's classic, and feels very livable and approachable. I also like Amber Interiors because her style is so vintage driven. I love vintage interiors, and she uses a lot of vintage things in her interiors, which is why to me they all look so different, and I congratulate her for that. Yeah, I feel like those are my favorite designers. I have so many more, but I can't remember right now. As you can see, I love English design and I love classic contemporary design. If I had to choose my top favorite, it would definitely be Sophie Patterson and Laura Hammett. What's your favorite architectural feature? I have so many favorites, but my favorite, and probably one that people never notice, it's so subtle you could barely see it, shadow gap details. I will show a picture because I don't even know how to describe this. It offers just the most luxurious and understated beautiful detail wherever you add it. You can add this on any furniture, you can add it on marble, anywhere. I absolutely love shadow gap details. What are your favorite rooms to design? My favorite rooms to design are definitely bedrooms. Anywhere where I can add a bed with nightstands and a lamp and just make a beautiful retreat, I think it's really satisfying to me. But my very favorite one to design are dressing rooms because they're a complete departure from closets. Closets, you just go in once or twice a day to take your clothes out, and then you close the door and you forget about it. A dressing room, it's basically an extension of your home. You can go in there, get ready in the mornings. You can add seating, you can add an island if you have the space, a desk. You can turn it into anything. It's just a beautiful retreat for both males and females. Do you have any interior design pet peeves? What? Huh. I have a lot of pet peeves. One of them though is I don't like when nightstands are not at the same height as the top of the mattress. I feel that is the best way you can do it because when you look at the focal wall in a bedroom, which would be the bed, it's nice when you look left to right. You don't see different heights. You see that the nightstand, these are the two nightstands, and then the bed is in the middle. You want it to be the same exact level. When that doesn't happen, I feel like it's really distracting, and it's not functional and it's not comfortable when you're actually sitting on your bed and you want to reach to your nightstand and you have to reach up because the nightstand is too high, or you have to reach down because it's too low. If it's at the same height as your mattress, that is the perfect thing you can do for yourself. Another pet peeve I have is when cabinets don't go all the way up to the ceiling. I know in some situations that's not possible because the ceiling may be too high, like if you have a 12-foot ceiling, but there are other situations. For example, it could be in a bedroom if you have cabinetry in your bedroom, or it could be in the kitchen. If you have the opportunity to go all the way up to the ceiling with your cabinetry, I don't see why not. I don't see why you wouldn't do it because there's no need to have space above your cabinetry. It just collects dust. It's unappealing to the eye. It's like you look at the cabinetry and like, oh, there's a space there. It's not necessary. So I don't like when cabinetry doesn't go all the way up to the ceiling. Do you like open concept spaces? I love the idea of an open concept space, but I feel that people have taken it to a whole new level at this point because everything is just so open. You walk into the home and the first thing you see is a sofa. If you have a big home and you have square footage to play with, I like when there's a designated entryway. If you have a huge entryway and you add a sofa because you want to add some seating, that's different. But I don't like seeing the living room sofa in big homes as soon as I walk in. That is just a missed opportunity to have a designated entryway. That said, I also don't like huge family rooms where you see the kitchen, you see the dining space, and then you see the living room all together. I know that's really convenient, especially for people with kids, but personally, I like designated rooms, compartmentalizing rooms with big openings. you can still close off a room and leave a big enough opening where it still feels like it's connected to the next room and like it flows from room to room. But just boom, a huge open space, I don't necessarily like it. I think it looks amazing and it's beautiful and it's functional and useful for some people. But if I had the chance, I would bring designated rooms back. Now for the last 4 questions, these are just basically me choosing what I like most. The first one is upholstered or slip-covered furniture. Upholstered. Wallpaper or paint? Definitely wallpaper. I think when you have different patterns on the walls and you have the opportunity to add pattern to the wall and texture, that is so fun. I also love paint, but if I had to choose, definitely wallpaper. Inset or overlay cabinetry. I will show a picture of what these two mean. Definitely insets, because it just feels very flush. Cabinetry with inset construction, you have the door and the drawers flush to the frame of the cabinetry, whereas an overlay, the door is sitting on top of the frame. It's not wrong, but if it's flush, I think it's more sleek and it looks nicer that way. Custom or store-bought anything? Definitely custom. If I could design absolutely every detail of absolutely every single little thing, I would happily. I love designing. And finally, black or white windows. I love them both, but they belong in different styled homes. So I would say white, because it's very timeless, and I just love the look of white throughout. But black iron windows are just so beautiful, but I'll say white because I can only choose one. Well, that brings us to the end of this design Q&A. I hope you guys liked it and that you learned a little bit more about my likes and dislikes in interior design, how I started my business. I hope that you took something out of this and that you found it interesting. Please don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, like this video, share it, and also come back for the next one. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.